Hey guys, this video is for skateboard maintenance, and this video was requested by Andrew Kellar. Andrew is a Patreon supporter of this YouTube channel, so he gets priority for me making these tutorial videos. And I have a list of some tips here that I wrote down, and I'm just going to go through these pretty quickly. If you guys have any questions about them, please leave those in the comments and I'll do my best to answer them as soon as possible. So the first tip is to leave your board indoors. That way it is not exposed to a wide range of temperature variations, and it is less likely to warp in heat because it's indoors, it's not super hot. So avoid leaving your board in the car as well. Number 2 is avoid scraping your tail on the ground. If you can't avoid doing that, you might want to look into getting skid plates. Essentially, when you scrape your tail on the ground like that, you're basically sanding your board down. Number 3 is periodically check the tightness of the screws that attach your trucks to your board. You don't want these to be too tight. That can result in unnecessary stress on the board and make it more likely to break. You also don't want them to be too loose, because if the truck wiggles around, you can end up widening the holes both on your trucks and your board, which will make it more difficult to tighten down in the future. Number 4 is don't ride through dirt and water. The dirt will get in your bearings and make your bearings move slower, and the water softens the board and will make your board feel a little bit soggy and softer. Number 5, if you do need to more thoroughly clean your bearings, watch a tutorial or read a tutorial online on how to thoroughly clean your bearings. I'll link to one in the video description. And don't use WD-40 to clean your bearings. WD-40 is a degreaser, and for your bearings, it's best to use a grease. So look for bearing lubricants online if you don't have it already, and that'll be mentioned in the tutorials as well on how to apply that. Number 6, make sure your shoes are clean before stepping on your board. If you've got muddy shoes, that mud is going to work its way into the grip tape, and then you've got really dirty grip tape and it's not going to be as sticky. Number 7 is just periodically check the tightness of your wheels on your trucks. You want them to wiggle just a tiny bit. You don't want it to be too tight where the wheel doesn't move when you spin it, and you don't want it to be too loose where it can really move back and forth. And lastly, number 8, choose a board and gear that are designed for how you intend to use your board. And an example of that for me is I get symmetrical boards because I use it both directions, and in order to make my board last longer, I'll switch between using one side as the tail and one side as the nose. And that leads it to, and that lets it wear down a little bit slower because it's wearing down evenly on each side. So I think that's it for some basic board maintenance tips. And if you guys have your own tips that you'd like to share, please leave those in the comments to this video so other viewers can check those out as well.